My name is Stuart Miller. I live in Cartersville, Georgia, and I was diagnosed with IgA nephropathy in 2007. My wife and I have been married 35 years, and we've almost always had Westies. They're great companions. They like to get exercise, so it's always good for me to get out and walk them. They're just fun, and you need some of those distractions as you go through life, and especially when you're facing the fact that your kidney may not make it and you may not last as long as you think you're going to. Prior to my diagnosis, life was pretty normal. I didn't understand that I was sick or didn't know that I was sick. About 40 years ago, we applied for a life insurance policy, and I was denied because I had some protein in my urine. Doctors would all say the same thing, that yes, you're perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with you. And I went to see my primary care physician, and he looked at my lab results and explained to me that it was not normal and I needed to go see a nephrologist as quickly as I could. Nephrologists determined that it was IgA nephropathy that was causing the problem with my kidney. It was a bit of a shock. At that time, there wasn't any treatment known. That's really, not what you want to hear from your doctor. It was, kind of devastating to know that in the long term, there could be something really wrong with me. My kidney function was at about 45%. There are some patients who can live in remission at that point and they don't have to worry about dialysis or transplant. For me, it wasn't until 2016 when my filtration rate was at 21%. At that point, you would qualify for the transplant list. When you're asking someone to save your life, it's a big ask, and it's not that easy. Trying to find someone who, quote, is a match for you, so your body will accept a new kidney. In my case, I was very, very lucky. My wife was not a match, but there's a program called the Paired Kidney Exchange, which allows people who have a donor to find someone else who may have a donor that's not a match for them, and then the kidneys get exchanged. My wife was willing to, to take that risk and to become a donor. I'm pretty lucky. It's not that easy to ask someone to save your life. And when someone steps up, especially someone that you know so well, it certainly gives you a different outlook on life. I can't say thank you enough. IgA nephropathy in transplant patients, there's about a 50-50 chance that it can reoccur. A living donor kidney could last 15 to 20 years. At my age, that would put me at a point where I probably would not be able to get another transplant because I'd be too old. It does put things in perspective that you have a certain amount of time in your life to do the things that you want to do. I just have to try to make the best of it and do everything I can to make my life complete. I felt that it was time for me to give back and to help out as best as I could. It's important to meet other people that know what you're going through and to know that you're not alone. I do a fair amount of advocacy work on behalf of not just IgA nephropathy, but the kidney community. One thing that I'd like to share is to be your best advocate. Don't be afraid to ask your doctors questions. Don't be afraid to do some research. There's some great information at the foundation about the disease. There's things you can do to help yourself, and don't get downtrodden. Don't accept the diagnosis and say there's nothing you can do. I've been given a second chance at life. It's pretty amazing. I'm very lucky to be given that chance, and that's the reason why I do some of the work that I do. It's very surreal to be able to think 3 years ago, I was in a position where I might not live. And 3 years later, here I am being able to tell my story. So yes, I'm very lucky.